It's been a while since we've done this, isn't it?
It really is. I'm sorry, I'm halfway through a digestive.
Yeah, as you may have noticed, we are one man down.
Are we?
We are one man down.
We have Ben Kenobi in the background.
Ben Kenobi and we have Spider-Man
we can help out.
As you may have noticed, Sam the Soundlord Glover is missing.
We haven't seen him in months.
We haven't seen him in months.
No idea where he is.
I think it might be because he got married.
Did he?
Did he get... Yeah, I think he got married.
There was something about that. We went to some event.
We went to something at a lovely...
I have no idea
old
what was
manor
going on, though. Yeah.
in about...
It was very posh. I felt very out of place.
Yes. We had to dress up.
I know, it was awful.
It was very weird.
Yeah.
I mean,
but anyway...
I'm the one editing, so we'll probably have like a very lovely picture of right about now. And then another one. And here's another one. This is going to be a pain to edit later.
Good luck.
But as you may have noticed, we've been away for a little bit.
Yeah.
That wasn't intentional. It's just life has gotten in the way. So as you may have seen by the title, down here or up here, depending on what YouTube is doing any given day, we're doing a recap of stuff that we've missed, and specifically, this is going to be films. So, Dan.
Yes.
Is there a film or a series of films that you want to talk about now, just to get it off your chest?
Apart from Alien Covenant, that's the only thing, because we never really got that out.
We never
actually got anything, because I was very excited for it before it came out, and then we sort of stopped doing it just as it was coming out.
Yeah. Before you ask, where's the Endgame review? We are doing one.
It is coming.
But in traditional Nerd's Kingdom style, it's always going to be a little bit late.
Everything we do is late.
Yeah, that's kind of our trademark at this point. We're just kind of accepting it. I think that should just be the name of this.
That should
just be literally the title.
It's our little gimmick, isn't it?
Yeah, like instead of like me doing the where we talk about movies, TV show, and goes just literally where everything's a little bit late.
Exactly. We're currently doing a whole video entitled "What We Missed." So,
well, it's going to be spoiler alert. It's a series of videos. The one that I want to talk about is Solo.
So we never even spoke about Solo.
I know. Well,
Lord.
The last one that's on the channel is us talking about the trailer.
Right. But no, we never actually talked about the film, did we?
No.
That means we missed the latest Star Wars as well, didn't we? The actual one.
No, we talked about Last Jedi.
Did we talk about Last Jedi?
We did talk about Last Jedi.
Okay, I'm all over the place.
Because we got some delightful comments on it, calling us Disney chills.
Ah, okay. Fair enough.
I wish I got paid by Disney.
I don't like.
I really do wish I got paid by Disney. Please, Disney, if you're watching this, not that you are, but pay me. I mean, this is just confirming it now, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. I'm drinking from a Disney mug. Got Mickey Mouse on the other side.
Did you watch Solo?
I missed Solo completely.
All right. I liked it. I had a lot of fun with it because the best way I can describe it is imagine it's an Indiana Jones film, but set in space.
And the irony of that being Harrison Ford wasn't in it.
I know.
Yeah.
But it's a heist movie. They're basically getting
a heist movie. It's in since Ant-Man, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's literally they're getting this stuff together to go. They botch one at the beginning. Mm-hmm. They botch a heist at the beginning, and then literally the after that is just con upon con upon con upon con, trying to get this one thing.
Yeah.
And everything just goes wrong.
Everything for them.
At different points, like different members of the crew get killed.
So, what is the story of the Solo film? Given that I haven't actually watched it, what direction of his life does it go down?
So full disclosure, I'm not a massive fan of the Legend stuff. I haven't read a lot of the Legend stuff on Star Wars. I'm more of what's currently going on in canon. You are very bemused about like 2 levels.
Oh yeah. No idea what's going on.
The old story was that Han used to be an Imperial cadet.
Okay.
And that's how he saw Chewie was being a slave, and that's how he saved him. And then he just went on the run.
So do you see him save Chewie? Do you see him?
The way they do Chewie in this film is so funny.
Yeah,
it's really good. So it shows off that he was like an orphan on Corellia, and he escapes.
Yeah. Does he become Batman?
No, I wish.
Oh.
But he's literally at this point only known as Han.
Okay.
And then he decides to...
Hang on, the Solo came on when he had a partner.
No. This is like the one thing of the film that I'm like, it's a bit forced. But... Pun.
You're proud of that one, aren't you?
I'm very proud of that one.
Yeah.
But it came at a point where he's on the run from the people that he used to work for.
Yeah.
So he decides, okay, I need to get away and off planet very, very quickly. I'll join the Imperial Academy, as you do. So
I feel like that plan could backfire in several ways.
It does. It invariably does. And he goes. He signs up, and they're like, "We need a second name." I don't have a second name. Well, Han Solo. That is literally how
is that it?
That is literally how they give him the
That's
name.
really annoying. That's genuinely quite annoying. The fact that it's that simple.
Yeah. But then it cuts to like 5 years later, and he's this mud trooper on this backwater planet. He's not liking it. He's having a hard time. He talks back to his superiors, and they're like, "Okay, fine. We're tired of you." They chuck him in a pit with this monster that has been known to eat people, and then you're.
Okay, that's quite cool.
And it's the first meeting of Chewie and Han.
Yeah.
Is Chewie trying to eat him? And they have this fight.
That's why you never trust anything hairy.
I mean, by that.
Anyway.
And then the rest of the film is then they're trying to get on a job to get something called coaxium, which is like the most valuable thing in the galaxy. The job goes south because they get sabotaged by another crew.
Yeah.
And then they need to go to like where the source is, and that's Kessel.
Kessel sauce.
And the whole thing with the Kessel run is it's a run that can only be gone through like a nebula, and it can only be done in about 30 parsecs. Parsecs is a measure of space it's like a kilometer in the Star Wars galaxy. So the fact that the Millennium Falcon did it in
is also an actual unit of distance, but there you go.
Yeah, but the Millennium Falcon did it in like 12 parsecs or whatever. It did it in such a short amount of space that it was impressive. But yeah, the relationship between Donald Glover, as Lando Calrissian is phenomenal.
Is he really good?
Yeah, he is literally Billy D. Williams.
Okay.
He has the same cadence, the same way that it's an interesting quirk that he's picked up. The way that Billy D. says Han, he says Han. That's how he did it.
I would never have picked up on that.
But Donald Glover does it.
Okay.
So he goes, Han, my boy. And then there's like a little, you can see it like in Han's face. He's just like, you could use Han. That's a perfectly good one. Because I don't know how much you've had it, but I get it a lot where people don't know how to say my name. Ewen. I've had Ewen. I've had
Ewan.
My favourite one is I had a guy at work call me Erwin.
Oh, there's no R.
I know. And then it was Erwin for a while with this same...
Erwin sounds like a Lord of the Rings character.
Yeah, I mean... Yeah. But it was just very funny.
To be fair, my name's 3 letters. I don't think many people can get it.
Yeah, but it's like somebody calling you Dan, as we normally would, and calling you Don.
Oh, I prefer Dan. I am Dan.
Dan. But yeah, on the whole, it was a very good film. With as somebody who like me who really enjoys the canon stuff.
Yeah.
And I read a lot of the canon material. They have a really good payoff.
Okay.
For me having gone on like.
Okay, is it a payoff that only like people like you who have read all the canon stuff would know, or is it a good enough payoff for somebody like me who doesn't really know an awful lot?
Are you aware of enough of what's going on in the world of Star Wars?
I've seen the films,
and you're aware
apart
of
from Solo.
And how much are you aware of like what's happening with stuff like Rebels and Clone Wars and stuff like that?
I haven't got a clue.
Then you might be a little bit confused.
Okay,
but. Our mutual friend Matt Joplin, I don't know if you'll be watching this, but...
He better not be.
I told him about this one moment in the film, and I'm like, dude, you're going to love it. And he's like, okay. And then he gets to this moment in the film, and then he sees this thing happening. The way that they telegraph this moment, I'm trying to be as vague as possible. You hear this character's voice, and then he's like, and then he starts talking about something else, and then Joplin apparently, because we didn't see it together, he went like this to his best mate. Mate.
Is it? Can I guess who it is?
Yeah.
Jar Jar Binks.
Damn it.
It is.
But yeah, that's enough for Solo.
Okay.
Because otherwise I'll be here all day.
Yeah, you could talk about that film for a long time.
I mean, I went and got the jacket. I'm that sad.
You did as well. But to be fair, it's quite a cool jacket. So.
It's a very pretty jacket.
Yeah. I'd wear it.
I mean, I would. I love it. Yeah. I love it so much. Deadpool 2, did you see that one?
Deadpool 2, I did see.
And
I was not
about
overly impressed with it.
Ooh.
I wasn't overly impressed with it. It was pretty much just the first film again. That was my problem with it. Like, the jokes didn't feel like they evolved, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I get what you feel about that one.
The humour just didn't seem to evolve. It was still an enjoyable film. I was still, laughing through it, but it didn't give me anything that I didn't feel like I got in the first one. Yeah,
it felt like an extension of the original one.
Yeah.
And the problem with that Deadpool 2 is that it came after Deadpool 1, which was just a phenomenal film. It's one of the best, in my opinion, one of the best superhero films of all time.
It's one of the best ones we've had in a long time, yeah.
And living up to that is just going to be inherently
not
very,
quite
very
as
difficult.
good as the 1978 Avengers, but that's Aquaman, I missed Aquaman. You have told me many times that it is fantastic, but the thing with Aquaman, it just looked like a spectacle of CGI to me.
In a lot of respects, it was.
Yeah.
And it's the most Aquaman film ever. If that makes sense. They threw
none whatsoever.
Everything that they possibly could. Every reference, every possible thing to do with the Aquaman character.
To try and make people go, he's not terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like the film opens with him fighting Black Manta. And then
it takes place after the Justice League, doesn't it?
Yeah, and they make one reference to it.
Okay.
They make one reference to Justice League. Yeah, it's a good film. It's an alright film.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit lower on it now that I've had time to think about it.
Is it one of those that you feel like it deserved to be there? It deserved a film of itself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think a lot of the Aquaman character is inherently very interesting.
Okay.
Especially what they did with him this is pretty much a straight adaptation of what they did in the New 52.
Alright.
Where he's kind of like this drunk loner to begin with.
Yeah.
And he doesn't want particularly anything to do with Atlantis. Whereas, like, the whole joke in, like, if you've seen Robot Chicken or anything in, like, the last 40 years with Aquaman.
And
it's just like, I can talk to fish. No.
The joke basically is he's essentially Mermaid Man.
Yeah, and then they're acutely aware of that.
Okay.
So they kind of overcompensate in some ways of making him such a badass.
Well, I feel like they overcompensated in a lot of ways when they got Jason Momoa to do it.
I mean, when you get Jason Momoa, that immediately kind of...
I mean, come on, the man is a god, pretty much.
And he's such a... I'm trying to think of what... If I had a moment to talk about that film...
Yeah.
It's literally the final part of that film.
Mm-hmm.
It's bonkers.
Bonkers.
It is quite insane.
Is it like... is that the bit where I saw it in the trailers, just everything blue because it was all underwater? And that sounds daft because it's Aquaman, everything's underwater. But there's literally like this moment in the trailer where all the water seems to go on land and all this giant battle with that's dolphins and things. That
is some of it, yeah.
Okay.
It's just, I was watching, there was this one moment, and I'm like, I know that. No, that isn't. Are you particularly bothered about spoilers? No. Basically,
spoiler alert.
Spoiler! I'm going to put a little thing here. It's like 4 months old now. It's well past that. It's him riding the Kraken, basically. That is voiced by Julie Andrews.
What? What?
Yeah.
Why didn't I know this?
And you know the best bit about this? This came out the same week as Mary Poppins Returns. And she didn't have anything to do with that. She chose Aquaman over Mary Poppins Returns.
Okay, now I'm going to have to watch it. I love Julie Andrews.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I think that is where quite a lot of people enjoy it. It's just fun.
Okay. Well, it's good that DC have a fun movie then, I suppose.
I mean, they did a really good job with Shazam as well.
Again, another one I haven't seen.
Shazam is just delightful.
Stop it, because I really wanted to watch Shazam and I never got the opportunity. Because it looked so good.
Yeah,
It looked like the most fun film there was going to be in the DC universe ever. It looked like what they needed, a little bit in an injection of life, if you will.
Yeah. The dark undertones are still there because it's directed by David F. Sandberg, who does a lot of horror films.
Oh yeah, no.
And the horror element in there is really good. Now, I wouldn't take a kid who was like under the age of 10 into that film. He's
good because you don't know any.
Actually, I do.
Okay. That joke's failed. More coffee.
Yeah, it's just a very good film. I feel like I've been talking a lot in this one. So what other films have you want to talk about?
You've just reminded me of Mary Poppins Returns.
Mm-hmm.
Did you see it?
I've seen it a couple of times, yeah.
Oh, okay. Because I thought it was good, you know.
Yeah, my favourite moment, no spoiler because it's in the trailer, Dick Van Dyke.
Yeah. I mean, come on, you can't go wrong. Dick Van Dyke just suddenly made an appearance. But I did feel like, you know, to talk about it quickly, it was a good, fun film that, you know, gave credit to the original without trying to be it too much, even though it had, you know, a lot of the same elements and a lot of the musical journey, if you will, took the same path. But it was, I thought it was just as good. I thought it was just fun. It took me back to my childhood while watching it.
It had the spirit of the original film, that which I think was very important. What was your favourite musical number, if you even have one?
Oh, God, that's a difficult question because there were quite some fantastic ones. I think the one that made me cry was Ben Whisshaw's one when he's singing about the mum.
Oh,
that one made me cry. The song at the end with the balloons, brilliant. But I'm trying to think of the Topsy Turvy one.
See, I really didn't like that one. I thought you could have taken that one bit out of the film and it wouldn't have changed anything.
Oh, but yeah, but same with in the original film where they go see the man who has the sugar
the Uncle Albert thing.
Yeah.
My favourite one was the Lamplighter one.
The light a little Light a Little Lamp Fantastic, or whatever it was.
Triple Little Light Fantastic. Yeah. That one is very, very good. And I like the opening one as well.
The opening one was brilliant. And the first one where they're all singing underwater.
Can you imagine that? That has not left my head.
No. But I think actually thinking about it is Cover Is Not the Book.
I love that
one. I adored.
The bit with Lin-Manuel Miranda doing the rap.
Yeah.
Is just fantastic.
Oh,
he does that in Hamilton, doesn't he?
Yeah, I thought it fit just as well. You know, a rap in Mary Poppins, bit strange, but it actually fit really well.
It was really, really good.
But I think that one actually is my favourite song in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cover Is Not the Book.
There's just so much in there that is really, really good. What else was there? Dan!
Me?
Dan!
I wasn't in any films.
Dan! Did you see the trailer for Star Wars? Did you see the trailer for Star Wars?
Are we going to talk about that now, or are we going to save that?
Oh, it'll literally be about 10 minutes of me going, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god.
It's still going to be 10 minutes about you going, oh my god, oh my god.
Yeah,
oh my god.
Let's save that for another video.
Alright. We'll save that one, because I can imagine you have a hell of a lot to talk about with that one.
I'm a giant... just, there's no... Yeah, it's just... I'm just blabbering at the moment. What else is there?
Captain Marvel. We completely missed Captain Marvel.
I watched Captain Marvel.
You watched Captain Marvel.
Well, did you watch it?
I missed it again. I'm not doing well here, am I?
You didn't miss much.
That keeps being what I've heard.
You didn't miss a...
Yeah.
A lot of what they deal with... You know how they were saying that it's going to be showing you how powerful Captain Marvel is?
Mm-hmm.
Not really.
Yeah.
Not really. Quite a lot of... The internet may light me on fire for this one. But to me, as somebody who was watching it, I found her character inconsistent. I didn't find her... Some people didn't like how her powers were inconsistent.
This because she makes jokes at the beginning, doesn't halfway through, and then does again at the end. Sort of.
She's just like... Brie Larson in the first 5-10 minutes of this one is snarky, she's really funny. I'm like, this is the character that I want to watch. And then the moment she lands on Earth, she becomes kind of stoic, and you could argue that she's on mission, but she was making all of those jokes and whatever when she was on mission already.
Yeah.
So, and then you could argue that she is learning a lot more about who she is as a character and where she came from. I could argue with that, but I could understand that. But it's just, it felt... It's one of the few instances where I felt DC did it better.
Okay.
But Wonder Woman was a consistent character from beginning to end. And her arc was a lot more defined about... She went from being a naive person to somebody who had loved someone and was being a bit more worldly. Whereas this isn't denigrating it at all, but Captain Marvel's one is how she's being manipulated by men and how she's free of those, which is an equally important story. It's just, to me as a guy, I didn't resonate with that, and that's probably because I'm a dude.
Yeah.
Nick Fury in this one, I just want to talk about it quickly. Samuel L. Jackson hasn't aged ever.
No, he never will.
And the amount of work that they do with him on this one, where he just looks really young, is fantastic. Other than that, Captain Marvel's alright. You don't need to really see it to see Endgame.
Yeah,
as a lot of people
that was the thing. We'll get to Endgame in a different video, but watching it, you pretty much establish she's just Superman, and then she's Marvel's Superman character, and then that's all you kind of need to know.
Yeah.
She's not in it an awful lot. And Brie Larson, I don't know what the actual relationship with her and the rest of the Marvel universe is, but they don't seem to be getting on fantastically well.
I don't pay attention to any of that kind of stuff.
I don't know if anybody here has watched any of the interviews with them. They all seem a little bit on edge around Brie Larson.
Well, she's the one Oscar winner there in the entire thing, though. A lot of them have been Oscar nominated, but none of them have won an Oscar.
Hopkins.
Yeah, but he's not shared a scene with her. He's not headlining any of the films.
He's kind of not in it anymore, really, is he?
Yeah. I think that's it in terms of...
Wait, are you telling me Jeff Goldblum hasn't won an Oscar?
I don't think he has. I know.
Why?
We wouldn't be doing our job if we didn't mention Stan Lee passing, because he was a massive part of the MCU. We'll probably get into a little bit more of that when we do the comic book one.
But it was very sad.
Yeah.
It was very sad.
He's got like one of the best cameos in Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
His cameo for Captain Marvel was really
I've heard his cameo for Captain Marvel, though. It does sound pretty damn
And I follow Kevin Smith.
Yeah.
And he posted a picture of him on Instagram crying. And like, it doesn't take much for Kevin Smith to cry these days, because let's be honest, he's a very emotional man.
Yeah.
But like just hearing him talk about the story of how they made that one, I'm like, oh, that's...
Yeah.
Oh! As he's making Jane Silent Bob reboot as well.
Yeah. And Stan Lee's cameo in Endgame is his last one, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like that's in some ways a little fitting to know that the Endgame of the MCU is also the last film that he will be in.
Yes.
Have a little cameo in.
Oh, his one in Into the Spider-Verse, which won an Oscar. It's the first comic book movie to win an Oscar for Best Picture. Best animated picture.
Best picture, I'll give you. Yeah.
Best animated picture. But his cameo in that, it's not a spoiler really, because you find out in the comics, Peter Parker and Miles' universe is dead. But Miles is getting a Spider-Man costume, and he's like, it's not the man underneath it, it's the costume that counts. I'm like, I'm not ready for this. I'm not emotionally prepared for this yet. I watched this like about a week or two after I found out that after he died, so it was very fresh. And it's just every time I get to that point in the film now, I'm like, no, you're crying.
It is very sad that he's gone, but he brought a hell of a lot of joy to an awful lot of people's lives.
Yes.
He really did. He made some fantastic characters. His legacy will live on.
Mm-hmm. I want to do a separate one talking about how Bill Maher is an asshole. Have you heard about this?
I have. I think you were telling me about it.
Oh, I got very angry about this. Yeah. I got very angry about this because it's somebody who's completely misunderstanding what it is about... I mean, we can talk a little bit about it now, because I don't think if I go on it, I'll get very ranty, and I don't want to do a rant video.
Yeah, well, I'll limit you to like a minute, I think.
It's the classic thing of people who don't understand what these characters mean.
Yeah,
and it's coming from an area of superiority. I'm someone who loves comic book movies. I also really love Shakespeare. There's no difference to me in how much I love those things. And to assume that's because somebody is liking something that you think is meant for children doesn't mean or make it any less demeaning.
No.
And the fact that a lot of these comic book movies are making more than $1 billion.
I think that's where a lot of it comes from.
Yeah,
it's just
it's. I'm sorry. There are things in these films that people are resonating and that they're enjoying, and who are you to take that away from them? I'm sorry.
Yeah. But, no, I mean you're perfectly correct in thinking that, because at the end of the day, these characters, they do resonate with a lot of people, and a lot of it just is jealousy of the fact that, well, my film's not doing as well, or people aren't that interested in whatever it is that else is going on, because all this comic book stuff's going on, and that's what people want to see right now. So that's what they're all saying.
At the end of the day, though, when these films make $1 billion, you know what that means? It means there's more funding for these more independent films, in theory. I mean, I don't know how true that is.
Let's hope it's true.
But it's a rising tide brings up all ships. It's more people that are going to the cinema and seeing trailers for independent films is going to make that more aware to other people.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Also, I want to end this out with, because seeing as it's staring at me in the face, is Aladdin.
Aladdin is
is a thing that will be happening.
I have some rather strong opinions on this Aladdin film.
Yeah,
I just think it's wrong, completely wrong.
Yeah.
Having watched all the trailers for it, it just looks far too bright and colourful, and everything's neon, and all these lovely, gorgeous petals floating down. It all just looks. I know it's supposed to be this magical thing, and all this, the genie's bringing all this magic and colour into the world, but the colour palette is sickeningly bright.
Do you know who's the director on this one as well?
I don't actually.
Do you want to guess? I'll tell you who it is, but I want you to guess.
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay. No.
David Lynch.
No.
I'd like to see a David Lynch
That would be
Disney
amazing.
movie, though. Good God, yes.
I'll give you one more go.
Okay. Alfred Hitchcock. Ah, he's dead. No. Have I said Michael Bay?
You said Michael Bay, and you
Quentin
said
Tarantino?
No, but if it was Quentin Tarantino, there'd just be a whole lot of shot about feet.
Oh, yeah.
Guy Ritchie.
Oh, yeah, it is, isn't it?
And on that note, bye!